Today, I will be breaking down the exact email funnel that I'm using to generate over $204,000 every single month in revenue using email alone for this e-commerce brand. So if you want to learn more about email marketing and see how you can get better results with email or just even start from scratch and set it up for your brand, this video is the complete guide on how to do it and the exact strategies we are using to get over 38% of total revenue for this brand coming from email. And no, this is not a subscription-based brand. They're a one-off purchases, and no, they're also not seasonal, so them having their best month this year in August is also quite of an indicator that our strategies will work. So first of all, you can see the screenshot. The brand itself did over 500k in revenue. That's 80% growth year over year, but email revenue grew 152% year over year. The majority of that is coming from the flows, but soon you will see why that is. And first of all, this is the whole funnel. And I mean, if you first look at it, it might seem to be a bit complicated, but no worries, I'm gonna break it all down for you. So after watching the video, you'll know exactly what to do to get the same kind of results for your e-commerce brand. So let's start with the top of the funnel, which again, you're gonna have some traffic coming in, right? Like overall, you're probably either running paid ads or you have some organic strategy, whether it's TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, whatever else. Your traffic is either coming from paid engines or from organic, which again could be social media or SEO or even ChatGPT ranking or whatever. Then this traffic goes to your website, and the first step where the whole funnel kind of starts working is your pop-up, right? Because normally what happens is that brands run traffic, people go to their website, and only on average 2% of those people convert, and the other 98% goes to waste, which again is not ideal because then you're kind of paying for 100% of the traffic, but only 2% converts, and 19% of those people don't accomplish anything, they don't do anything. And this is a big problem because one of the most important elements of the whole conversion journey is timing, right? Like someone might click on your ad right now, but they might need to do some research. Like, sure, there are some people that are gonna make an emotional purchase. They're gonna go and purchase instantly pretty much after seeing your ad because they see like, okay, this is exactly what I need. But some people, for example, including myself, need more time to make a decision. Like they won't be acting emotionally. And there's nothing wrong with both, by the way. Like some people are just, a little bit different than the other ones. And again, both, kind of groups are fine, which is those purchasing emotionally right away and those kind of waiting to make a purchase or like needing more information. But again, everyone purchases differently. Everyone has like behaves differently as well. And, all of that comes down to their psychology. And so, but like, I don't want to go too deep into this one. But regardless, the point is that a lot of people won't be ready to buy right away. But that doesn't mean that they're not interested in what you're selling. They might be 100% interested in that, but maybe right now they don't have information, enough information to make a decision. Maybe they need to see if they don't have a similar product at home. Maybe they need to compare you to competitors, or maybe just not the right time because they're getting their paycheck in a few days, but they're already spent all of the current one. They want to put more credit card debt than they have already. So again, there are a lot of factors that we can't control, and all of them come down to the right timing. So the way you solve timing is by implementing this email system, which allows you to pretty much contact people multiple times a week, like 3, 4, 5 times a week. And then even if someone needs 2 months to make the research, think about, do I need it? Then if we hit them with an email, they're like, okay, this is the right time to do it. So again, all of this starts with the pop-up. And this pop-up that we have for this brand is converting 31% of those who view the pop-up into email subscribers. Now, when I say pop-up, I don't mean like an immediate pop-up. So this is not 31% of the traffic. It's 31% of people who actually are seeing the pop-up. In this case, for this brand, we went, with the safe option, and the trigger for this pop-up is 41 seconds, meaning that someone will see the pop-up 41 seconds after being on the website. And this is also like based off, like what is your average session time? If your average session time is 20 seconds, then obviously having the pop-up trigger after 41 does not make much sense. What you can do, and what is a simple rule of the thumb, is to take your average session time, multiply it by 25, 50, 75, and 90%, and then just run an A/B test for every single one of these, monitoring your opt-in rate but also your conversion rate. Because if you run the pop-up right away and you see your conversion rate go down significantly on the website, this is a bad sign and you need to play with your pop-up a bit more. But again, for this brand, pretty late time delay, but also that's one of the reasons why our opt-in rate is so high. Then 26% opt-in rate for people for SMS, and you can see the whole final stats for the whole month of August, so it's not like it was also some kind of low volume. We had 54k views, 17k new email subscribers, and over 14k SMS subscribers. And you'll also see that the conversion rate on the email to customer is quite high, because in reality that was 40%, which is quite big, and like that's showing 242k, which might not be entirely true because the attribution window is 30 days, which is also super long. But just to kind of show you how important that is, that if people opt in today, they might even keep purchasing 1 month from now, right? Because technically that would be like 50% of the brand's revenue, which of course it's, not that accurate. And then you also have overlap with Klaviyo as well, because if you're wondering, like, we're using Alia for pop-ups. If you want to get started with them, there's also going to be a link below this video. It gets you like 1 month free trial, so just give it a go. Like worst case, you just don't like the pop-up and switch back to Klaviyo. But we've seen great results with Alia. And again, that's why this number might not be that accurate in terms of like dollar amount, because again, there's overlap between email, SMS, and then Alia as well. So don't really look at this. This part is way more important. So how many orders were generated after 1 month? Yeah, that's a very nice metric to see, but mainly SMS and email opt-in rate. And as you can see, for this brand, it's been quite insane. Because then once you get someone's email address, this is where the whole party begins, because then you implement flows and campaigns. This is pretty much like a never-ending process where someone joins your email list. They will keep getting emails from you, and that's completely fine because they opted in for that. And the worst case, if they don't want to keep getting them, they can just go unsubscribe, and there's nothing wrong with this. But if they are fine with getting emails, they'll keep opening, clicking, and after some time they'll make a purchase. And ultimately, that's how the whole funnel works. Just to show you for this brand specifically, most of the revenue obviously came from the welcome flow, where again, like with such a high opt-in rate being over 30%, it's not a surprise that welcome flow is generating so much revenue. But then if you look at abandoned cart and checkout flows, they also made like 35k, which is not bad at all. Our window shoppers flow, which is based off the custom trigger, made over 6k, and you can see all of the other flows as well. Ultimately, this is the setup you would like and you should have for your brand, which is welcome flow, abandoned cart, abandoned checkout, and browse abandonment, all with 5 emails. And I know you might be like, is it enough? Is it not too much? What we found is that after working with like 60 brands, this is the perfect length because it gets the message across quite quickly, but it's not too long. Because if you go to an account and like see a welcome flow with 10 emails, you will see that probably 3 to 4, maybe 5 emails are the ones making up the revenue, and all of the other ones don't educate people, don't make any sales, so there's really no point in sending them. Right now, what we're seeing work better is shorter but concise flows being sent fairly quickly. So we're playing with time delays as well, and these honestly work quite well. For site abandonment, you're only doing it 1 email, and this one is being targeted only to non-buyers, so you're not sending it to existing customers at all. And then again, window shoppers flow with 3 emails. This is based off our custom trigger. Post-purchase flow with 5 emails. For this brand specifically, they're in a baby niche, so we wanted to have very, very quick repeat purchase on the order, because usually we have a very short window to do that. So for them, we didn't do replenishment because again, it's not a subscription-based brand. But what we did instead is have a cross-sell upsell flow, which is being triggered just 15 days after they make a purchase, because again, we don't have much time left, to get those people to buy again. So what we're trying to do is convert them right away. Then customer win-back flow with 3 emails, and then first purchase anniversary with 2 emails as well. This is a great, kind of like a longer win-back flow, but it works very, very well. So yeah, all of these flows are pretty much what we have set up for this brand. Again, most of the revenue is coming in from these three flows, which also makes sense because there are key flows that anyone needs to have, and they're also having the biggest volume. Almost the biggest. Like I believe, post-purchase one or like customer thank you, they both have a decent, volume too. But like in customer thank you, we're not really selling that much. In the post-purchase, this one's like a cross-sell email, so it's doing, pretty well. Same for win-back, pretty big volume. But again, this one's being sent a bit later, and people usually don't need that many, repeat purchases for this brand because it's a one-off purchase. But again, still having like, extra like 10k across all of these 3 flows. It's a decent repeat order, for this brand. It's like what, like 5%, I believe, right? Something like this. No, maybe not, sorry. So it would be like, what, like 2%, right? So again, like nothing crazy, but again, like most of the revenue is just coming from the acquisition channels rather than retention, because if someone just purchases the one product, they don't need it. Like, first of all, this is the product that you can have forever. And secondly, they're in a baby niche. So if they buy it now, 3 months from now, their baby is not gonna need it. That's why it's so hard to have a high um revenue for these win back flows or like post purchase flows. But this is just kind of how the brand is, and even with that being said, we were still able to drive over 38% of the revenue purely from the acquisition side of the emails, which again comes down to the thing I was talking about before, that not everyone is ready to make a purchase right away. Not everyone will be just pulling out the credit card instantly after they see your ad, which is fine. But this is why we have those post-purchase flows, which are kind of meant just to reconvert those people, have multiple touches with them. And then if they don't convert, this is where campaigns come in, where we're sending pretty much 4 to 5 campaigns for this brand every single week. And you can see some of the top campaigns for this one, like 4.5k, 4k, 2.7, 2.7, 2.7, 2.6, 2.5. Like again, these are top campaigns, so that's why you're only seeing the bigger numbers. But even our low performing campaigns for this month made like 1.5 to 1k revenue, which again is not bad at all, especially if you send like 10, 15, 20 emails a month. That's going to help you quite a lot with the revenue. And campaigns are targeting really all of these segments. For this brand, or like for any brand in general, my personal approach is to try to go as broad as possible. Maybe not blasting the entire list, but I mean, in some cases it makes sense, because if your open rate is healthy, there's no reason why you should be not doing this. For this brand, our open rate is getting like 68 to 72% open rate, which is insane. And this is excluding false opens from Apple privacy. So this is the actual open rate number. It's not inflated or anything, right? And the whole brand revenue, by the way, is also done on 5 days attribution window, so this number is not inflated as well. But again, campaigns are a great way just to kind of get more touch points, both with buyers, non-buyers, kind of, plug in some up-to-date content, real-time marketing, new product launches, restocks, stuff like that, stuff that you can't really put into flows because it's just changing so quickly. And then what we also do for this brand and like for any brand is we have a directory of top performing evergreen emails that anytime we want to send a campaign that does well, we do it. And usually we repeat those angles either on a monthly basis or on a bi-weekly basis, because we don't want to do them like every single week. That would be way too often and probably we just burn through. But what we're doing is like, again, monthly campaigns that are having the same proven angle that just works well. And again, most of the time we're targeting engaged segments, usually engaged 180 days, even engaged 1 year. Then from time to time, we're also gonna plug in all buyers and all non-buyers just to keep the engaged segment growing. And as you can see, open rate is great. Click rate, like, yeah, percentage-wise, it could be, better, but we could also like target, engaged 60 days instead of engaged 1 year. And there our click rate would be like maybe 0.7, maybe even 1%, but doesn't really matter because we would get less total clicks and less unique clicks. And as a result, we would also get less purchases. That's why, again, if you have good deliverability, you should be going super broad. You should be targeting as many people as you can because they signed up for a reason. If they don't want to be getting your emails, I said it before, but they will unsubscribe. So there is nothing wrong with you emailing them because, you didn't force them to opt in. Like, you gave them a choice, like, hey, do you want a discount or whatever incentive it is you're running? Or do you want to, just skip it and like pay the full price? So again, this whole funnel is pretty much responsible for making over 200k every single month for this brand. And it's being consistent because it just works. And again, it removes the timing factor from the whole conversion journey, that if someone is not ready to buy right now, they'll need more time. We will hit them sooner or later, like either through the flows, or if not through the flows, then through the campaigns, because again, we're sending like upwards of 15 campaigns every single month. So we're having multiple touch points with those people. And if they're, not ready to buy now, maybe they will in 2 months, maybe for Black Friday, maybe for New Year's Eve, maybe for Valentine's Day, maybe for Easter, maybe for Christmas. We don't know, but there's like so many, quote unquote big events that people can just kind of are like shopping through, that you need to have your list ready to go. And that's why, it's so important to have this whole system, starting with, again, optimizing your opt-in rate. Honestly, 30% is like way above average. Like, don't expect your pop-up to do such a big number, but you should be striving to keep improving that, because when we started with this brand, our initial pop-up was doing like 8%. Then we took it to 12, then we took it to like 15, I believe, and then we moved them to Alia and we're sitting at like 20, 26 for the SMS and 31 for email. So this is why you need to keep improving it. Make sure you have all of your flows built out. You're running multiple A/B tests. You can even see that, for our welcome flow abandoned cart checkout, we have A/B tests running. So they're just kind of there just to keep improving the flow itself. And for campaigns, have a big volume, at least 3 emails per week, I would say. If you're a smaller brand, then you can get away with like 2 emails per week. But ultimately, I would suggest running 3 to 4 campaigns every single week, because this way you can just target people more frequently. And this is very important because if someone is about to buy a product from you, they're either considering you or a competitor, and if you're the one communicating more with them, building the relationship, building the trust, and becoming likable by sending good emails, they will buy from you. So again, this is the funnel that we're implementing for any e-com brand that wants to scale profitably. And if that's you, if you are running an e-com brand and you're looking for someone to manage your emails and get results like this brand, for example, where emails driving, 20, 30, even 40% of your revenue, there's gonna be a link below this video. Just click it. There's gonna be a free call with me. I'm not gonna be hard selling you. I just want to generally help you see if we're able to improve your email revenue. If not, I'm still just gonna give you some tips on how you can be doing better with, just getting the best ROI and best bag for a bag. So best value for a bag. So yeah, if you want someone to handle your emails, again, click the link below this video. There's gonna be a call with me. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.